Welcome to a visit to Minspeak Street. My name is Gail Van Tatenhove. I've been teaching about Minspeak systems and how to teach Minspeak systems for a long time. Back in 1990, I put together a simple presentation to use with parents to answer the question, how does Minspeak work? To answer that question, I wanted to use a simple illustration to help the parents understand the basic rules of any Minspeak system. These were the rules of a Minspeak system in 1990, and they are still the rules of a Minspeak system today. The only thing that has really changed in 2022 is that Minspeak pictures are now officially called symbols. But let's get back to the question at hand. What's a simple illustration to teach how Minspeak works? One of the illustrations I used then, and still use now, is the metaphor of a street with different people living in different houses. This illustration has worked because a neighborhood is an experience that is universally understood. By using this illustration with families, their children, and the people who teach their children, we're showing them how Minspeak is a welcoming, friendly neighborhood. It's a place they will like to visit. So let's go visit Minspeak Street together. Minspeak Street is a wonderful neighborhood. It's friendly, welcoming, and a very easy place to find words. Let me show you around the neighborhood and introduce you to everyone who lives in this great place. We're going to start right here by the green door. Let me introduce you to Verb. He's a busy guy, always doing something around his house. He's like a superhero at home. He might put you to work doing things with him. And he'll ask you to dress in your Action Man clothes of a green shirt and put on a hat. He'll give you a bucket, a tool belt, and lots of tools so you can do things with him. The words he says are verbs. After visiting with Verb, you might be a little tired from all that work. So a good place to visit next is the house of Artiste. Art lives in the house with the blue door. Art is a painter and is French. Art wears a blue smock and a beret on her head. I know she will take one look at you and say, "Come in, my friend. I am happy to see you. You look tired, but pretty. Sit, and I will paint a beautiful picture of you." And she does, exclaiming that it is good, no better, no, the best picture she's ever painted. The words she says are adjectives. Then you'll dress up like an artist with a blue shirt, hat, and paintbrush and paint a picture of art. And you'll say adjectives too. Next, let's meet Grandma Cupboard. She lives in the house with the orange door. She's our beloved Nouna, and she has cupboards filled with so many wonderful things. That's because the words she says are nouns. Every time you visit her, she will look in her cupboard for one or more things that you might want. To help you remember her, She will send you home with an orange t-shirt and a hat with white hair made from yarn so you can dress up like her. And she'll send you home with a tiny cupboard where you can put all the stuff that is precious to you. When you get home, put stuff in your cupboard that you can show Grandma Hubbard on your next visit. After visiting with those 3 people who live on one side of the street, it's time to carefully cross the street and visit whoever lives behind the pink door. Behind that pink door lives Josie Interjection. She's a surprising girl, a girl of few but very important words. Her words are interjections. She'll have you dress up to match her outfit, having you put on a pink t-shirt and a sparkling headband that looks a little like fireworks. Plus, she has a toy megaphone because she likes to talk using it. As soon as she opens her door, she'll start saying her interjections. She'll say, "Hello," or "Hi." After you tell her you came for a visit, she'll say, "Okay," or "Fine," or "Cool." You'll tell her all your news, and she'll comment with "Congratulations," or "Wow," with exciting news, or maybe "Uh-oh," or "Yikes," with bad news. When you're done visiting, you'll give back your outfit, and she'll politely say "Thank you" and "Goodbye." Josie's neighbor is Dave Determiner, and he is a wizard, which is like a magician. He loves visitors because he can show them his magic tricks. When you are around Dave, you have to pay attention to what he is pointing at, because instead of naming things, he uses determiners instead. He'll dress in his wizard outfit and give you an outfit to wear too. He'll use his wand to point at things, saying, "Keep your eyes on this, keep your eyes on that, keep your eyes on these, and keep your eyes on those." He'll touch each one, and they will all disappear, like magic. He'll show you all his tricks and then say, "That's enough," and send you on your way. So you'll go to his neighbor, Connie Junction. Connie loves trains and loves dressing up like a train engineer. You are visiting, therefore she'll have you dress up too. Connie's favorite part of trains is putting together the engine with the cars and the caboose. Connie makes long sentences with many ideas joined together with conjunctions. You will hear Connie say, "I want the engine and this car, or that car and the caboose, but not all of them, because it will go faster over the tracks unless I go a different way if the track is blocked." We can both play until you want to stop, since we are having fun. And people always have fun with Connie. But it's time to go visit a few more neighbors. Many times, Connie visits with Bob Bridgman, who operates our neighborhood drawbridge. Bob is all about prepositions. Today, you are going to be Bob's helper, and Bob's helper always wears a purple uniform. He'll have you watch for cars driving across his bridge, and planes flying over his bridge, and any boats that are going under his bridge. When really big boats come, Bob will have you lift the bridge up to let the boats go underneath, and then put the bridge back down. If something needs fixing, you'll help him get his tools out and go on the bridge to fix it. You'll be very busy when you hang around Bob Bridgman. One of my favorite places to visit is the house of Missy Curiosity. She is a very mysterious woman who writes whodunits, which are mystery stories. Her mind, her house, and even her clothes are filled with question marks. Her favorite words are question words called interrogatives. When you get to her house, she'll ask you question after question after question. Who are you? What do you want? Where did you come from? Why are you visiting me? When will you come again? She likes it when you ask questions too, so dress up like Missy Curiosity and ask her about the story she is writing. Who is your story about? Who are the characters? Where is it happening? When can I read it? How does it end? You can ask, but I don't know if she will tell you. The last person on this side of the street is Verb. He is an aviator, which is a person who flies an airplane. And he is Herb's older brother. When Verb and Verb were growing up, Ed, being the older brother, was always correcting or modifying his younger brother's actions or behavior. Herb would practice throwing a ball to Ed, and Ed would tell him, again. If his throw was bad, Ed wanted to encourage him and would say, almost. He told Herb to always be ready to throw when he said, now. He would direct Herb to throw it here or there, or throw it forward or backward. Big brother Verb was always modifying what his little brother Verb did. That's what adverbs do. That's the job of adverbs. Before you leave, you can dress up like Verb and tell him how or when to do something. He's okay with that because he loves adverbs. And after hanging around Verb, I think you'll love adverbs too. There's one more place left to visit, and it's the only place on Minspeak Street that has lots of people living in the same house. Behind the yellow door, on the far left end of the street, you will meet the Pronoun Phrasers. The Pronoun Phrasers are a big loving family who love to talk back and forth with each other. Sometimes the kids argue about who is the smartest. I am. No, you aren't. Sometimes they fight over who can do something. I can. You can't. Sometimes they fight about liking something. Do you like it? I don't like it. And sometimes they fight about wanting something. Do you want it? No, they want it. It just never stops. When Mom Fraser gets frustrated with them, you can hear her say, I could, I would, I should stop you from all this yelling, but I won't, I can't, and I don't want to. I love hearing my Fraser children talking with each other. I know you will like them a lot. When you visit their house, dress up like them, or use their puppets to pretend to be I, you, he, she, it, we, or they. Use a lot of phrases, and you'll be just like the Pronoun Phrasers. You made some new friends on Minspeak Street today. You met Herb Verb, Artiste, Grandma Cupboard, Josie Interjection, Dave Determiner, Connie Junction, Bob Bridgman, Missy Curiosity, Ed Verb, and the Pronoun Phrasers. The characters living on Minspeak Street are all living in houses with different colored front doors. These colors can be used to color code the parts of speech in the Minspeak system. Currently, in the Unity program, only 4 parts of speech are already color-coded. The verb keys are green, adjective keys are blue, noun keys are orange, and the pronoun keys are yellow. I add more color coding to help some of my AAC users. I use pink for interjections, light orange for determiners because they are used to help replace nouns, which are orange, gray for conjunctions, purple for prepositions, a reddish color for interrogatives, and a teal blue for adverbs, because it is a blend of green and blue since adverbs modify verbs and adjectives. It's up to you to decide if you want to add more color coding and if you want to use the same color coding that I am using. As you were meeting these friends on Minspeak Street, you saw behind each of their doors some costumes that visitors could wear, along with props for things that these characters use. These costumes and props are borrowed from parts of speech kits that I've assembled to support people using the Unity program. You can check out a YouTube video to learn more about parts of speech kits. When working with a family or with a group of children in a classroom, members of the family or classmates in school would dress in the different costumes and use the props as we explored the words associated with a symbol. And sometimes the person using the Minspeak system would dress as one of the characters and use the props to explore a variety of symbols as that character. Turning these parts of speech into characters with props was a way to make learning come alive. But let's get back to Minspeak Street. Now that you've visited Minspeak Street with me, let's pick a symbol and start exploring it, taking it with us to each person on Minspeak Street and hearing what word that person will say with that symbol. Herb Verb, Artiste, and Grandma Cupboard will always have more than one word to say. But Josie Interjection, Dave Determiner, Connie Junction, Bob Bridgman, Missy Curiosity, and Ed Verb will always have just one. We can't remember them all, so we are going to take this map with us and write down the words everyone says. Let's start by taking an apple with us. Imagine that we go to each person on Minspeak Street and see what they have to say. We'll take our map with us and write in the words they say. For the apple, Herb Verb gave us 8 verbs that have something to do with eating, while Artiste described herself as hungry, and then she described food 6 different ways. Grandma Cupboard thought of food and all kinds of food, and the word meal. Josie Interjection saw the apple and yelled, "Yum!" while Dave Determiner wanted to know if we had any more apples or any more food. Ed Verb told us he also had apples in his house. Connie Junction, Bob Bridgman, and Missy Curiosity didn't have anything to say right now. but that's okay. Neither did the Pronoun Phrasers. Let's visit everyone again, and this time take with us some money. Herb said the word have, and lots of other verbs. Artiste checked out my money and declared it was real. That made her think of her paintings, some which are expensive and some which are cheap. Grandma Cupboard said money, and she thought of the word sale, different kinds of money like a dollar or dime, and other money words like the allowance her grandchildren get when they do their chores. Josie Interjection didn't have anything to say, but Dave Determiner looked at the money I had and said, "That's a lot." Connie Junction looked at my money and thought, "You have more than I have." Bob Bridgman, who thinks of prepositions, thought of the word buy, spelled B-Y, which sounds the same as buy, spelled B-U-Y. They sound the same, but are spelled differently and mean different things. That Bob is clever. Missy Curiosity wanted to know exactly how much money I had, while Adverb just looked at all the money I had in my hand and described it as much. When I went over to the Pronoun Phrasers, they all started using have phrases like I have or I don't have. Now you can explore words on Minspeak Street. Start by picking a symbol and then visit the different people on Minspeak Street to find out what they are going to say. As you explore Minspeak Street, it will help you if you learn a little bit more about the basic rules of a Minspeak system. One way to do that is to watch another video that I've developed called Minspeak for Kids 2022. It's at my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me on this visit to Minspeak Street. I hope it gave you a few ideas about how you can teach about multiple meaning symbols and how those multiple meaning symbols are combined with a symbol that represents a part of speech. A special thank you to the many families and AAC users who allowed me to practice my art and craft with them. Plus, thank you to Jeremy Legaspi for his creativity and talents in helping me renovate a visit to Minspeak Street.